remembers us. We're live. We're here. Poof.
Hello, YouTube world.
Did I get notified? What did that say? Huh?
I didn't.
Well, something completed when.
Boom.
Well, I don't get notified for some
Well,
reason.
because they figure it's you.
Oh. You think that's why?
Could be.
Omega Van Mike's here.
We
Hi.
have an ad on there.
And 2 eggs in a basket.
Hey, Mike.
2 eggs, 1 basket. RV. Hello.
Hello.
No. Okay. That was for you, Jason. Bill Presnell, present for class. Yeah, well, I don't know how much class we're going to have today. I never have any class. Yeah, we're kind of giving everyone a chat. Joel Leslie here. Hi, people. Joe.
Oh, hey.
Leslie here.
Joel. Why?
9. Wow.
Okay. Joel Leslie.
Well, if you're here, say here, and then hit the thumbs up, and then
we'll keep count.
And then we're cool. Then we'll know. We're trying to get a little more action.
A little more traction.
Yeah. We used to see. What is this? Why is this not leaving me alone? Oh, yeah. No, I need to turn on the do not notify me. There we go. All right. Sorry, folks. Kevin Hickam. Hilda. Howdy doody. Huh?
I said hello, Kevin.
Hello, Kevin. That's her brother's name is Kevin.
Yes, it is. Mighty fine.
So we're up to 10. Wow. So we didn't really work on anything today, so we'll just kind of tell you what we're doing. And today I went to my therapy, and they stuck like those little acupuncture needles in me, and then she hooked them
up to a car battery,
to an electrical device, and cranked that sucker up until my foot felt like it was going to explode. And then she said, just relax for about 10 minutes. And then at 10 minutes, she goes, well, let's just do it for another 5. And my foot feels like it was in an egg beater or something. It feels really weird. I'm getting all kinds of things all over the place.
Coming back from the dead.
Yeah, it's just.
Hello, Canadian Twig, and hello, Charlie Porch.
Hey. So anyway, yeah, it's.
Charlie's in wet Virginia.
We're supposed to be getting the new home version of this electrical shock device.
Machine.
Yeah. And of course, Medicare's playing games, or somebody. Nobody knows why it's not happening.
Medicare denied it, and they don't know why.
And everybody says, "Well, you should get this. You should automatically." I got a handicap placard, but I don't know what that was for my foot or something else. But anyway, we're supposed to get this thing. And that way Darla can hook me up and shock me all day long.
Like a dog with a shock collar.
Yeah. My grandson did that one time.
When he was a baby.
Yeah. And these people, their dog was just like freaking out. They couldn't figure out what was going on. And they'd put the shock collar on, left the remote control on the table, and he found it. And he was just zapping this dog half to death.
Poor dog.
Yeah, poor dog. And then Cagey was a bad boy today. Where is Cagey?
He's hiding from you.
Cagey, come here.
He's down there on the steps looking out the door.
Oh, so we went
It's nice today. It's really nice. So we have all the windows open and the door open and the suction fans on and the AC.
49 degrees here this morning, and it was wonderful. So
panty. And in fact, it was comfortable enough to do this dirty job that he didn't want to do, and neither did I.
Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me of that. So, well, 2 things are happening with the motorhome. What? Oh, I was telling you about Cage. So we went to get hibachi for lunch, and I saved some chicken. I put it in a napkin, and Darla carried it out. We got in the truck, and she gave it to me, and I gave it to him, and he ate off the napkin, and I wadded it up, put it in our little trash can, and then we were looking at windows, and we came back, and the napkin was out on the seat. So he got into the trash in the truck. And I was just telling her a minute ago, I like to eat those little stick pretzels for $2 at Walmart. They're great. If you haven't ever had them, get them and try them. You'll love them.
Just with chocolate.
No,
like
no,
them.
no. They're no chocolate.
That's how I like them.
They're just salty and they're good. They're like if you're gonna drink beer or something. They're real good with that. So sounds like someone's coming up our driveway.
Here.
So anyway, I can leave those sitting here next to my chair for days. He won't touch them, and I know he loves them because I've given him a few. But he won't come over and touch them. And then
tell me one thing he doesn't love.
Me, because he got yelled at today.
He'll eat anything.
He'll eat poop and grass and sticks.
2 eggs, 1 basket. Can we get in line? So now that I've read that comment, I forget what it was about because we've moved on.
No.
So the Griot Garage Complete Compound product removes the scrapes from the trailer we talked about last week. Looks like a charm.
Oh yeah, good, excellent. I'm glad you got. I don't know. What was it called? Okay, that someone else must have gave you that stuff. But anyway, good. I'm glad that happened. Hopefully, it didn't take your clear off and everything else. So, well, our roof on this motorhome is aluminum, and the roof on this motorhome is, what would we say it is? It's 27 years old now.
I think so.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we a couple of years ago, I noticed some things that didn't look real bitchin' on it, so started checking around. The solution was rubberized coating put over it. So I got liquid rubber, and I was able to get about two coats on it, and then
we got evicted.
Then we got evicted from where we were staying. And
that's when we were staying at our daughter's, and they called code enforcement. Code enforcement said you can't live in the backyard, so we had to leave.
Yeah. So
one of the neighbors complained.
So we didn't really get to put all 5 gallons on there. So I went down and got 2 brand new cans, and we filled the cans, and we've been hauling it around. And finally, and I've been telling her we need to do this roof again because it's starting to look like it needs to be done again. And no problems. Nothing was leaking or anything like that. It just looked like it could use a nice fresh coat of it. So yesterday, the weather was going to be cooler and not raining or anything like that. So her and I got up on the roof and started putting this stuff on. And, it seemed a lot easier the first time.
It looked easy on paper.
But, man, we worked and we got it all up there. And 2 eggs in 1 basket went. We needed to mix it, thin it out a little bit because it had been sitting for a while. So it was kind of getting a little gummy. And I had some mineral spirits, and I used what I had, and they went and got some stuff for us. About the time they got back, ready to finish the last part of it. But we got it all done, and of course I had to tape off the marker lights in the front and the horn brackets, and take off the lids, the covers for the vents and the refrigerator. Took all those covers off. And we got it all coated, and it looks really good. And I got down off that roof, and she got down off that roof. We looked at each other and we were messed up, man. We were tired.
All we needed was feathers. We were tired, so we just needed feathers.
And I do all this one-footed because it's my bat foot. I mean, I have to do everything that I have to do backwards from what I normally would do it. And because my foot is just so tender all the times. Hello, Terry. And So we got it done, and then this morning I got up and went up there and took
Hi, Carrie.
the tape off of the marker lights, and the tape off the brackets, and put the horns back in, and took the
Covers
tape
on it.
off around the skylight, and put the covers back on, and it looks really good. So I think we're good for a few more years at least. And
I just want to say, Jason wore him out. 2 eggs, 1 basket. And I put his box of toys up. He wore him out before we started this video so that he wouldn't be doing what he's doing right now. He found the one ball I didn't put up, and here he is. Thanks for trying, Jason.
he just he never gives up either.
It wouldn't be economic refugees RV if Cage didn't do this.
Yeah.
And of course, he had to find the one that squeaks.
Yeah. So there's Pooh. Hi, welcome to the
Hi,
Foot
Pooh.
Club. Yeah.
You're welcome.
What we should do is when we do these videos, just take them over there and drop them off so they can babysit.
Yeah, I'm sure their cat would love that.
Yeah. Well, we get some exercise hissing at him. So we did that. Another thing, I've been fighting my rear air, and it finally gave up the ghost, man. It went, and that was it.
Welcome to the Foot Club.
Yeah. So that's done. I'm looking, if anyone knows where there's a good working dual therm brisk air. It's not the brisk air 2. It's not the dual therm.
Yeah, you just said it was a dual therm.
No, it's the dual therm brisk air. So the dual therm is the old one, has the whole back of it is opened up, and you can see the whole condenser. On this one, the cover covers it. It's and then now the new one's real spacey looking. So I need the in between one. And I found one. The guy wanted $30 for it. And I'm thinking, oh great, I read on it says it didn't work. So I don't know why you would buy one that didn't work.
I don't know, but you know what? I think we should sell ours for $25.
Yeah, I'll put a challenge up there. So yeah, we had some kind of electrical problem, and I don't know. I think it's either low on Freon or something. I just don't want to mess with it anymore. We bought it brand new about 10 years ago, about 10 years ago. We were down in Texas, Gate County.
2010, 2011.
And it's never really sounded right. It's always had like a gurgling sound to it, but I didn't care because it worked real good. And in the last year or two, it's not quite working as good. So
now it's not working at all.
Yeah, now it popped the circuit and everything else. So I don't want to be laying in bed asleep having that thing running and all of a sudden the roof of the motorhome, especially now they put all that stuff up there. So
but
anyway,
that was good because it's sealed. Because we do have 2 cracks up there.
We have 2, but that's what internal bond tape is for, and I have 2 cracks maybe about 4 inches long, and
they're sealed with internal bond, and now rubber coating.
Yeah, well, it's had rubber coating, and now it has more rubber coating, and then we did a thing. I think we did a video on it. We did do a video on this, and the reason why we didn't do a video on this is 2 reasons. One is it's a mess, and I didn't want to get goop all over my phone, which is not staying charged like it used to. And the other one is we just wanted to do it and get it done. So
and we already made a video when we did it the first time.
So anyway, I'm kind of glad I'm done with that. But we put in a skylight. Took 3 tries. We put it in 3 times. I had to buy 3 setups. The original one was bigger, and they didn't make the size I had. I found a place for like $600 would make me a dual pane special one, but I could buy these, which were just a little smaller, and they were like $80 or $90. I think they're Icon or something.
So they're
like that.
2-piece though.
Well, they're 1 piece, and what I did is I got plexiglass because I wanted it to have that air gap. So I put plexiglass down below it
It's like a flat piece of plexiglass, and then on top is the domed
is a dome part.
part.
But the problem was is when you put the skylight down, there was a gap in the roof. There was no roof where
Right.
the skylight used to be. So I had to come up with a process for that, which was called Eternabond tape. And it worked really good.
Did we do a video on that too?
I don't know, but I know the first two. I was trying to glue the two pieces together the first time, and it didn't like that. And then the second time I didn't glue them together, but I think I over torqued them, and I was only caulking them. And then the last time, what I did is I did the thing where I didn't wrench them down. I just snugged them up, put the Turnabond over the top of it. The screws couldn't back off or anything. I caulked it in real good, and then I had put this coating over it, and now I'm just coated it again. You can't even tell, man. It looks like it's part of the roof. So.
I'm holding. But
Yeah,
there is a trim ring on the inside that he has to redo.
Well,
always something. Always something.
Well, yeah, it's the little nacelle on the inside is plastic, and when we bought it, it was cracked and had a piece missing out of it and everything. Well, if you've ever owned a Corvette,
and of course they don't make that part either anymore.
No,
they make it, but it's not as deep as ours needs to be.
Well,
they
don't make one. I don't think it fits.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe I don't know.
Anyway, so the deal is like I say, if you ever owned a Corvette, old Corvette, you find that you're always having to fiberglass this or fix that. They're always getting damaged. So I'm pretty good at working with fiberglass. So I refiberglassed this thing, reshaped it, and ground it, and it looked like brand spanking new. And I thought, well, you know what? I'll put a little texture coating on there, and then I'll paint it. And when I got all done, it was beautiful. It looked really good for a long time. But now, for some reason, that I think
probably your son.
That Kentucky sun was something else, and it just started cracking that stuff that causes it to the texture part. So need to take it out, sand it all down, retexture coat it, maybe let it sit up a little longer, let it dry for a day, and then hit it with the paint that matches. It'll look all good again. The bathroom will be all fixed.
Marine paint.
So, and our new project that we're in the process of trying to figure out how we're going to do all this, but we've talked to you guys about, we've got this old, almost 50-year-old tin shed out here. And I spent a lot of time just standing around looking in the thing, looking it over and thinking about, everybody's building tiny houses and how cool it would be to build this thing out into a tiny house, but it's only 12 by 16, the main body of it. And it's like a pole barn. It sits up off of the ground on these 5-inch round poles. But it's got two like side awnings, one on each side, and one is 12 by 16 and the other side is 8 by 16. And it started with, well, what we could do is we could finish this 8 by 16 side and enclose it and make it a room and insulate it and everything else, and do the center part, get it all fixed up, and get the tin all on it and everything. And then we'll turn the 8 by 16 part into a storage, because we took our U-Haul trailer out of the storage unit, and man, I know I could get all that stuff. I could fit it in that little room, no problem. I mean, it'd be all my motorcycle tools and all that kind of stuff, but I could stick all that in that little thing, and it would do two things. In this day and age, wherever you can cut expenses is probably a wise thing to do. So that would cut $40 a month off of expenses. It would give me all my stuff to be able to work on motorcycles and whatever I have to do right here. And then we could still set up the center as a laundry room and all that kind of stuff. So that's how it kind of started. And then the next thing I started thinking, well, I have this whole other side over here. Man, that would make we could actually turn that into a bedroom with a shower and a toilet and a what we have in the motorhome. We have like this cupboard in there, and it's really cool because it's got drawers down below. It's got a whole center section.
If you guys want to see,
Yeah, there it is.
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, so this is this side over here. I wonder if they can see that. Probably not.
Can you guys see?
You see,
This
side over here is the side. You can see the black stuff on my beard. This stuff right here, this side over here is the side where the storage would go, and this side over here is where the bedroom would go, and then the center would be like a laundry room. Well, I mean, the way we're set up in here is we've got an induction cooktop, we got a convection oven, and we got a sink. That's basically our kitchen, and we have a gas stove, which she never uses unless we're in a situation where she has to. But anyway, we really don't use the gas cooktop, so it would be real easy to set that up like that, put a regular sink in it, and I'm coming up with ways to increase the size of the counter.
Originally, if you guys remember, we wanted to take that and turn it into laundry room, but also have a residential fridge in there. And then he wanted to put his tools in there, just so it was everything.
A couple
was here.
Of tools, yeah.
Yeah, not all his tools. But anyways, and then because we couldn't do this building yet, we're just like, well. And then the other thing is, when our family comes to visit, they live just far enough away that it's hard for them with little kids to make the trek down here to visit us. Then they got nowhere to stay, and then visit, and then turn around and go back and be back at any decent time with little ones. It's tough. So it would also serve a dual purpose for that if we ever get that building built. So
right, but the thing is, we still have the motorhome.
Right.
And my thought is if we could turn that, it could be multiple things. It could be a place for the kids to come and stay. It could be something where we could do like a bed
Airbnb.
It would be something where if we had just, I mean, there's a lot of things going on that are, let's just say, not encouraging the RV lifestyle anymore.
Build it as a doghouse.
And yeah, well, anyway, it could be a nice little house. I mean, it would be about, you're right around 700 square feet, and I lived in apartments. I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment.
I grew up in a house with 5 people that was 800 square feet.
So I mean, I think we'd be able to put a king size bed in that front area, and at least as big a bathroom as we have now, which this one is plenty big.
I wonder how stable the post foundation is. It's pretty stable.
Yeah, and the way my idea, I'm gonna build the floor out of 2x6s, and then I'm gonna get those 4x4 square posts, and I'm gonna cut them off, and throughout the framing of the floor, I'm gonna put these 4x4. They won't be real deep. They'll probably go down maybe 5 or 6 inches, and just in the dirt. No water gets to it. So and just add extra support, make everything work real well like that. And yeah, I think it would be really cool. The plumbing is all right there. I already got everything. The input is already inside.
He's wanting to design it so that all that stuff is accessible for when there is a problem. It's not like buried underground. It's like behind a panel, and there it is. So plumbing and electrical.
It would be totally serviceable. Everything would be serviceable. And if this turns out the way I'm hoping it, we're going tomorrow. We need to get 40 sheets of galvanized tin, corrugated tin, and I want to get it used. So the guy I've seen pictures of it, and it looks about like what we have. Basically, when I get done, the tin and everything is going to just be for looks. Structurally, I'm going to build it really, really strong, and then it's going to be plywooded, and then I'm going to put like roofing paper. Start on the bottom, work my way up to the top, so I have a water barrier.
Here is there is no code, and so we were talking to Two Eggs One Basket, and told them when it comes to making videos of this stuff, I know we're going to get critiqued up one side and down the other because we're probably not doing it to code, but we're doing it the McLean way, and we'll research it, but it's probably some of the people out there are going to be.
Well, in Arkansas, people are gonna think that we're like professional construction people or something. Because I mean, if you see some of the stuff around here, it's rather interesting. How many times we drove by and go, "Oh, look at that," and I'll go, "There's still people living in it."
You never hear of anyone dying in a house that fell in on them here. You just don't.
No, they usually burn down, but yeah,
they do fall in, but the people are usually out, like in the store.
The way your house falls in on you is you go on vacation for too long, and the forest just takes it over and eats it.
Crushes it.
We got a house down here at the end of the streets. It's just
you wouldn't even know it's there. No one lives in it, but
and it's all this is being done to it because the old wood house is just being destroyed.
Jason and Amanda said the hunting dogs are out again. Oh joy.
Oh yeah, must be 100 dogs over here barking. Yesterday when we were up on the roof of this thing, I kept telling her, "You don't hear that, you know?" And all of a sudden she goes, "Oh, now I hear it."
Yeah.
And it sounds like a herd of dogs coming at me.
It sounds like 100 dogs, really truly. Like I was saying, you know those movies where they have hunting, they're hunting fox or whatever, and they're all on horses and they're chasing, and they've got those hunting dogs, but it sounds like 10 times louder than that, or more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing about it is we got a couple. We're trying to put things today. We're looking at windows because before I bought 2 windows and they're not the same and they're small.
Because it was going to just be a shed.
It's going to be a shed. But now, in the main area is going to carry is where the weight is going to be, and it's going to have the floor is going to be about an inch thick, and there's 2x6s there, and they're all 24 on center, so it should be a pretty stout there, and that's where the refrigerator is going to go, and the washer dryer, and then we're going to put a potbelly stove in there, and I'll use the tin from pieces of the tin for the outside. You got to space them about an inch off the wall, is like a barrier for heat. But yeah, I think it'd be pretty cozy. And then like we were talking, if down the road, if we decide I want to put up another bike shop. If we're not going to build the big building, then I'm going to build a small temporary building, something that if I need to, I can take it down, and I'll build it out here. I like to make it look just like what we got over here, and then I can take all that stuff, that storage stuff, and put it in there, and then we'll turn that into like a bedroom for the grandkids and whatever, and so when people come, we have and then we're going to work outside. We're going to put in I got another fire pit and put the barbecue down there and maybe build a nice little porch, and we have a wonderful view out the back. It's really
We're going to do all this with these old bodies. Wish us luck.
Yeah, well, we got to do it pretty soon because if we get any older, we're not going to be able to do it at all. So,
Canadian Twig says you should have seen the things we saw in Alaska.
Yeah, well,
same thing.
There's a lot of bad stuff. I mean, you go to somewhere like California or something, it costs you $60,000 before you pound one nail. I mean, they just get you for all kinds of permits and calculations and all this kind of stuff. We built the house one time. We built the we built a really nice house, but it cost what it was like $140,000. We just did an add-on to our house, and it was crazy. And that was back like in the early '90s. And I mean here, I mean we're gonna have a few $1,000 invested, but man, that's that's pretty cheap. You know, and we're gonna floor it out. You know, we'll floor it all out real nice before we put stuff in, so it'll be, and then we'll just get some of them throw carpets or rugs or what do you call it?
Rug.
Area rugs.
Sherry says, "Are they coon dogs that run and bray half the night chasing raccoons?" We don't know what they are. We really don't. Somebody said puppy mills, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think
Who said
so.
that?
Yeah, but they sound like grown-up dogs.
They
They don't
do.
sound like puppies.
Puppies.
And
My
hunting
cat keeps
season's
going
coming
away.
here pretty soon. Right now you're driving down the road and there's baby
Hey,
Bambies all
welcome,
over.
Mellow Cat. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Glad your dishes are done.
But there's all these little Bambies on the side of the road and stuff. And after the first shot is fired, you won't see a deer anywhere. Then you got to put on the urine and the camouflage and go up in the blinds but they get them, man. My nephew, this is what he lives for. He lives for deer hunting season. But so that's kind of the big excitement, huh? I'm excited. That's all I can think about is building that thing, and it's going to be. I want to kind of make it really look rustic type thing, but I want to make it look like a shed on the outside. I do not want to change the appearance at all. I like other than just make it so everything is enclosed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to make it look too schmancy on the outside. Is all the money I want to making things really awesome and super cool is going to be on the inside. And when people walk in, they're going to look and go, yeah, you see some of these. I've been looking at a lot of tiny house stuff and things like that, and some people really have some cool ideas. We still have the motorhome, so we can live in this, and if things change a little bit, fuel prices come down, and I don't know if anyone else heard this, but they have this new thing they're starting in California that if you drive into California and your motorhome is 40,000 pounds or more, which this one here,
IKEA.
or no,
Yes.
it's not 40. Is it 40,000? I think it's 40,000. Anyway, big motorhomes, diesel motorhomes.
This one's 30.
Yeah, this one's like
That's what you've always told me.
yeah, it's 36,000 pounds
Anyway.
with the truck. So anyway, but we whatever it is at the time, I figured we fell into that category. And that what it is if you want to drive through California and stay any longer than 72 hours, you have to have a vehicle inspection and they have to do a smog on it.
How are they going to know how long you stay?
I don't know how they know everything else about us. So, the thing is that if you just want to do a travel, see, they expect us to be honest. They don't expect themselves to be honest. We're the ones that have to be honest. So if we go there, we'd have to get a 72-hour pass to be able to drive through California. That's basically 72 hours just get you from one side to the other. And so, and then they're saying that after the first year, they'll be making it mandatory and this is for people that live there too. We'll have to get it done 4 times a year just to keep those things registered. So there's 14 other states that are investigating. So that's a big problem. The California crazies come up with all this stuff, and we've experienced this our whole lives because that's where we're from. And it's just another way to take money out of here. I'm get ready, Jason. Get your finger on the off button. Anyway,
the mute. That's what he does.
Yeah, I'm just so tired of everything is taxed. My son and I were talking this morning. And I said, you know what? You can't go out to eat without it being taxed because you're going to pay the gas tax to get there, the tags for your car, and you're going to pay for this and that. And you finally get there, and then you order your food, and you get taxed on your food and on the server, and I mean, everything is a freaking tax. And I mean, ultimately, all this, what is it, ESG, which is economy, socialism, and governmental. That's what it is. It is. It's all about. Finally, their ultimate goal is going to be they're going to be taxing you for the breath that you take. I mean, animals farting and burping. They want to tax that. I mean, it's out of hand. Out of hand. It's crazy. I think everybody in this country should just step back and say, sorry, you guys do it yourself. You figure it out. You want to make all these crazy rules, just don't include me. That's kind of one good thing about down here in old Arkansas. Most people don't know how to read the rules, so they don't hassle you. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of a more of a kickback place. Shouldn't say they don't know how. They don't want to know how. They just like living their own lives.
Anyway, that's why we're here, and we can build whatever we want, however we want.
Yeah, yeah.
And the only one that's going to give us grief is going to be YouTubers that think we should do something some different way.
Yeah, our taxes are like $50 a year.
51.
51. And
And it's an acre.
acre.
And granted, there's nothing on it other than that little shack out there, but
Well, but we've already put in.
right, nothing's changed.
It's all plumbed. It's all electrified.
Sewer.
Sewer, water, electricity. We do have a gas pipeline out at the road. We even actually have a set of steps that go to nowhere.
Yeah.
Used to be a house on here
From
somewhere.
the street, we have an embankment.
There's a well on this property somewhere too, but we don't know where it is.
Anyway, they're old steps.
Yeah, really old. And so we have the, I guess you would call it infrastructure. And now all I have to do, and everything, like I say, electrical and water, everything is over to there. There's just dead head. Nothing is hooked up. There's nothing in there yet. The only thing I would have to do, I do have sewer, but the sewer part is to the center of the building. If I would have moved that thing down further, we would have it made. So we're going to see. There's a possibility. I don't know. There's a possibility that I can cut over and get it back into the line real easy. Otherwise, I'm going to have to dig down and then tie into it down below. I'll have to dig a trench down, get down to the line, and then cut into the line and put a deal in there, which is going to be a little scary. But I could do it. They actually make them where they clamp them and stuff. So one way or another, we'll get it done.
I'm sure it'll be on a video coming.
Yeah, that would just be the sewer, and and my brother's got tractors, and my nephew, he's pretty good at operating. Listen to that.
Hey, now. The dog.
Oh my gosh, yeah. If you guys, I don't know, you actually might be able to hear it on there.
I don't know why live chat keeps going away from me.
Dosing rod. Why do I? Oh yeah, for the well.
Yeah.
But
don't you take two hangers and just kind of?
No, they got to be. They're like copper.
Oh, yeah. What is that thing that guy gave us in surprise when we were looking?
Yeah, I wonder where those are at. He gave us those rods.
They were just hangers. That's all they were.
No, they were some kind of copper wire.
They were in your closet. I don't know.
Oh, I have to look. Anyway, there was a house here.
There's nothing like a good sewer video.
Yeah. And you all know how to tell the difference between a sewer line and a water line, right? The taste. Anyway, there used to be a house here like back in the 40s. And on a very rare occasion that a tornado comes up this far through this area, it didn't like Wizard of Oz the house, but it damaged the house enough that they there's a RV bandwagon.
Welcome.
They just totaled the house out, so they just tore it down and made firewood out of it. So, but they're I mean, what?
Mellow cat emoji about the sewer hose.
Oh yeah, they do get tornadoes through here once in a while, but usually it's down the other side over there where it's flatter. We're in the hilly part right here, so this is hilly willy neighborhood here, huh? But I think I have no intentions of leaving this place. I mean, like saying, okay, let's just screw it, let's sell it and go. I think we're kind of here, huh? But we got to just make it. I really wanted to put up the big building, but that's probably a dream that's going to have to come later. So, if at all. So if we could fix this little thing up here, and I could get a small enough, because I don't really want to work on. Before I used to have 20, 30 bikes at a time in my shop, at least 20. Usually, we had a hard time getting them all in at night, and I just don't want to work on that kind of volume because it's just all day long, man. Just pound, pound, pound. So um, from here on out, when I do my motorcycle stuff, it's going to be a slow process. I'm going to do slow, and if people want to, you know, start snapping their fingers and stuff, then they'll bring them to me.
In the desert, he's an upholsterer. He's still there, but he had a sign up in his shop that said, "If you want it real bad, you're going to get it real bad."
Well, and I mean the
Mellow Cat says exclusive.
Yeah.
Yes, exclusive for you, Mellow Cat.
The thing about it is that it's really different when you have a business where your clients, the people that you work on their stuff, will beat you up. I mean, and they will, man. And some of them guys I used to work on their bikes. They were pretty scary dudes, and I mean, if you told them their bike was going to be done tomorrow, and tomorrow comes and you're not going to be able to finish it, you didn't get this or get. I mean, you got to call them by 2 o'clock and tell them, hey, your bike is not going to be done today. This is what happened. And most people are reasonable about it and say, well, I'm glad you called me, because it really doesn't matter what they say, because the facts are the facts, and you can't change the facts, but you can keep people from getting mad at you if you just be honest with them. And a lot of the shops,
common courtesy.
Yeah, no, I used to know guys that they would tell me, I took my bike to a shop, and the guy just, hey,
I remember that good old days.
Yeah, it just you gotta treat people right, and that was the thing. We always were busy, and we didn't. People didn't come in and get a $2,000 extra charge or anything like that. I was pretty honest with them. When if I found something really wrong, it was going to cost more, they knew right up front, hey, this is a problem. And if you don't want to fix it, that's on you. But I can't pay to fix it. I didn't know that was a problem. And I used to get that. Guy would come in for an oil change. All I want is an oil change. That's all I want. Just do it on. And his headlight's out when he leaves, and he comes back, hey, my headlight's not working. Well, there's not a drain plug on your headlight, so And I'd always said, I'll just I'll put a bulb, and then it turns into it's an electrical problem, and then pretty soon I got 3 hours invested in doing a job that pays $20 for some guy that But they would say, I understand it's not your fault. What do I owe you? But that's how you got to treat it, and that's how I would do it here. But I'm starting to get a little clientele, and I'm not even sure. I don't even have a place to do it. I've been working on bikes out here. This one kid brought me the Sportster, and the thing was just not running. Just would not run, no matter. And I mean, changed the ignition, changed all kind of. I mean, because I was going by what he was telling me, and they kept changing coils, changing coils, changing. He said it would run great for a while, and then it would quit running. And what it ended up being was the carburetor, the bottom half of the carburetor. There was something wrong in the thing, and it was bypassing the fuel, and it just couldn't get it to run right. And he called me the other day, and this little vacuum line had come off, and it goes to the petcock. And I said, "I'll just put a tie strap on it." He said, "I just want to tell you, man, this is the best this bike has ever run. I mean, it was just amazing." And I actually took it out and rode it with my foot. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it.
Rode it with your foot.
But I had to use my heel to shift it. And that thing it's a 1200 Sportster, and man, it ran really strong. That's why I'm looking for an old shovelhead or an old panhead, because, they were designed back in the days when the speed limit was 55 miles an hour. So you went to the dealer, bought one of them bikes, you didn't expect much.
Yeah. Wow.
Barry, are you still in Arizona? It's got to be. Are you up high in Arizona? Where are you at in Arizona? He's a full timer, but he likes to stay out there in Lake Havasu in the wintertime.
Where it's warm.
Yeah, we won't be coming back, man. My brother-in-law moved out of there, and we lost our gig in Quartzsite, so not gonna travel all that way. Kingman. Yeah, we're not gonna travel back west for a while, at least. There's the Beale Hotel in Kingman. A long time ago, we went underneath that hotel, and there's a whole city underneath Kingman. It's amazing. It's just it goes.
Somebody should have done a video on that.
Well, back in those days, you would have had to have one of them big clunky things.
There is one. We should look on YouTube. That'd be cool.
Yeah, the lady that owned it took us all down in there, and they used to.
J.C. Penney under there, and
there's a Fix-It guy, and there was a bar. They had walled off the tunnels so that you couldn't just, because you could go for miles underneath there. She told us, but there were people that were living down in there that they didn't want coming in there.
Hey, Vince Simmons, hello.
Coming into their businesses and stuff, so they went down there and they walled them in so that people couldn't get in there. I guess it was a different world when the Chinamen were, because that's where they used to hide the Chinese guys.
When they were doing the railroad.
When they were doing the railroad. Yeah, so, and the people in the town, they became pretty attached with these people. They didn't want them to leave, so they basically made a city underneath and just let them live down there. And I don't know how good that would be after a while, but they seem to do it. So another thing I'm noticing, our camera's working better this week. I don't think it was our camera. I think it was something else. So anyway, does anyone have any questions for us? I've been chattering here for almost 50 minutes, so we're getting close to the sign-off time tonight. So if anyone has anything that they're interested in knowing or want to ask any question about the shed or
how
the roof,
how
we're gonna do it. Nope.
We're gonna buy one of those electronic levelers.
Yeah, a laser.
Yeah, laser.
And I'm gonna bolt a lot of it. A lot of bolting. And nylocks and impact wrenches. How the gore works. What?
Works out. How? Barry? Huh? How the gore work out?
I wonder if that phone system.
Fireworks.
Oh, fireworks.
The job itself was the easiest job I think we've ever done. I'd do it again, but
that's why we're
yeah,
thinking
we're
about
not.
doing what we're doing, because it wasn't it wasn't anybody's fault, but the money wasn't there. And the reason why the money wasn't there, a lot of people came in and talked a lot of stuff about how the years before they had really spent a lot of money, and that's kind of what we were hearing. And we got there, and the economy was just really bad this year, and people weren't spending money on that. They were trying to keep their utilities on and feed themselves and everything else. And we had a lot of people coming in with 30 or 40 bucks, and you know, yeah, money was not there this year. It could have been a lot better.
I scooted closer. Hopefully, my voice is louder now, Pooh.
And that's, I mean, you know what? And we talked about it. It's if he's already said he'd like us to come back, we, you know, I think we did more than anybody else in that. Well, I know we did more than any of the other places around us, but it just wasn't enough. So, I mean, I'm not complaining, but if the economy's like it is right now or worse, it wouldn't be worth the fuel to go do it. Does that answer your question? Hi y'all. We're getting solar installed next week and then leaving here at the end of the month. Cool. Where are you going? That's helpful. So what now? Well, you know, we're actually we're you weren't on here. We have a metal building out here, a shed that we're gonna kind of remodel that. That's our plan. So there'll be some videos on that when we get into that.
My case.
But my plan was to come back and lay a big chunk of money on this guy who was going to build our metal building, and then maybe spend a few weeks here when he got started, kind of made sure things were going the way we wanted, and then we were going to head down and do some gate guarding. But now, you know, the oil companies, who knows? Teresa's usually on here. I don't know where Teresa's been. But that's part of the thing. See, we usually do a thing in Quartzsite where we do recruiting for the gate guards, and the company hired a lady, and our buddy got taken off of it, and they hired this lady, and she's doing it. I don't know whether she's good at it or not. Usually, when you go to those like the big tent and stuff, it's not like sitting behind a desk and going on Facebook and stuff like that. That's all she really does. So she'll go have to meet the people, and she'll have to sign people up and do stuff like that, which may be a lot different than what she's used to. And I mean, we're just, we got blown out 2 years ago because of COVID, and now we're getting kind of, kicked to the side on this because of her. And I just don't know whether I really want to do it again. I mean, especially, I mean, we were paying for the fuel, and I mean, they paid for a spot for us for a month and our utilities, and gave us a chunk of money for 10 days. But it barely covered expenses for us. We didn't make a chunk of money, but we liked it because we were able to go there. And then my brother-in-law lived in Lake Havasu. We'd go and spend 2-3 weeks with him and his wife, and they always loved to have us. And I flip them a few bucks for utilities and stuff, but that was hard to get them to take that. Well, they moved, so they're not there anymore.
Vince wants to know, do we still like Arkansas?
Oh, I love it here. Yeah,
we do love
this.
We do love this state.
This is as pretty as anywhere in the country. I mean, people talk about Montana. People talk about, Alaska. I've never been to Alaska, and I'm sure Alaska is very beautiful because what I've heard it's very beautiful. But it gets extremely cold there. Montana gets extremely cold there. It can get cold here, but it doesn't get like those places do. And this place is really green, and there's You know, when you drive over a bridge, there's water under the bridge, and there's animals everywhere. Just
Bugs and oh,
well, we don't really have as much bugs as you would think, huh? I mean, there's it depends on where you're at. If you're like right next to somebody's pasture and he's got a whole bunch of cows, you're going to have a
not
lot of
flies.
flies. If you're near
But that's true of anywhere.
stagnant water, you're going to have a lot of mosquitoes. We get a few mosquitoes here, but it's not nearly as bad as some places. When we
No.
lived in the Mojave Desert, we didn't have fleas, we didn't have ticks, we didn't have mosquitoes, but we didn't have water. I mean, all the creeks
Yeah.
were rocks.
We didn't have
We
color.
didn't have trees. We didn't have, our seasons were the hot season, the hotter season, the freezing season, and the even freezing.
We barely ever got rain.
It was
We did
always
get snow
windy.
sometimes, but
It's not windy here.
it was
Um,
always windy.
yeah, it was always windy, and
Mojave Desert. You
yeah,
know?
and it was just brown.
It was hot, but it was a dry heat. Hot is hot.
Yeah,
Hot is hot. I
it
don't.
was brown. It was hot. It, you know, yeah. No,
And we
Canadian
did that for
Twig.
28 years.
Yeah, we're. I don't know. Portside 2024. I don't know. See, I, I'm not, and I don't think Darla is. I don't think we're done with the RV lifestyle. We're just
Here's the thing.
can't
As
afford
long
to do
as
it
my
right now.
kids are scattered to the four winds, and even my mom, she's in California, I want to be able to go see them. So I'd like to have something to travel in, you know.
And we have with my son. He's in an HOA, but he tells them that we're going to come and spend a week, and they say, "Oh, okay," because we just kind of tuck in there, and we don't block the road, we don't do anything weird, and
We improve the look of the neighborhood.
yeah,
Okay.
and it's a nice neighbor.
It's a
So
pretty motorhome.
anyway, they're cool there, and then my youngest daughter, we went there. The problem with it is the electrical is
Yeah,
we
it's
need to
a 1940s house.
we need to go there in the winter time, more in the fall or spring.
We did make it work though.
We did, but
we had both ACs
that
running, and that was.
yeah, that could have had a little bit to do. You got to get a lot of energy in these ACs when they're running, so could have had a little bit to
Yeah,
do with it.
Cage, Canadian Twig.
Yeah.
He's made several appearances tonight.
So
Elton says they're somewhere. Mickagab till October, then Arkansas, then back.
I think it's
here.
Michigan.
Oh, Michigan, yeah. Michigan till October, then Arkansas, then back here in January for 6 months.
Yeah.
You guys got your timetable mapped out for a year ahead.
And that's what we used to do. We
Yep.
used to have it where when this job quit, we'd usually have like a week to get to the next job, and then we get to that job, and then we'd have like a week to get to the next job, and then we would have times where we'd have like Quartzsite was our time of the year where we were basically off because we didn't start doing the
like
shows
4
until
or 5 years ago.
yeah.
5 years ago.
So we would just go there to go there, and we did one year. We went there. We sold RVs.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've done a.
But I mean, when you're there, so you know. Well, I guess we did that for a month. Yeah. When you work the tent, it's only 9 days, so that was a much better deal. Anyway.
You're around the people. When you're selling RVs, you're not doing the RV lifestyle. You're doing a job.
Yeah.
When you're working in the tent, you're doing the RV lifestyle. We met a lot of people. I mean, there's people on here that we've met. Minivan Mike and
Elton.
Elton. And what about Pooh?
Yes, he came and saw us too.
Yeah, and so we have met. We met a lot of people that watch us, subscribers. We met there. Yeah. Dougie D. Oh, I should tell them about Dougie D.
Oh yeah, you guys know Dougie D that comes on here.
We're friends with him and his wife, and he's the one who turned me on to the doctor in Las Vegas, which now we have all new doctors here and everything. But anyway, they decided they had enough of Vegas for a while. They needed to take a break, so they got in the his motorhome, and they went up to Maine. And he went to go outside. He opened the door. The step came out. He stepped on the step, and the studs that were holding it broke, and he went flying, and he ran into this post, and he broke 2 ribs.
Yeah.
And he's not real happy about that. I haven't talked to him today, but I've been talking to him every day. And
he called the repair guy to fix the steps. But the person that's in the campground staying across from them is a traveling nurse who helped him when he got to the hospital. And her husband came over after they got back home, like the next morning, I think, knocked on the door and said, "Hey," explained who he was.
I'm here to fix your
steps. And he fixed the steps for free. So that was really nice.
So there's, in this RV world, that's helping one another is a good thing to do. I mean, that's been lost in this world. There's a young guy over here, and his name is Garrett, and he's 20 years old, and he's a pretty good mechanic. And I'll tell you what, this kid, when my truck broke down, well, ran out of gas, but my gas, that's a whole other story. Anyway, I called him up. I said, "Hey, Garrett, what are you doing?" He says, "Just laying here in bed. I'm about ready to get up." I said, "Well, hey, I broke down over here." And I go, "I got a tow bar.
You got a Saturday morning.
You got a ball on your truck?" And he says, "I do." And I said, "Can you come and tow me home?" And her brother was here visiting, and he came with his truck and hooked up to the trailer because we're going to go get this metal that we're going to go get tomorrow. And anyway, he said, "Sure." So he comes over and gets me, tows me, and he's got a building and a shop. He also works at a shop. Takes me over there, throws the truck up on the lift, pulls the fuel tank out. We go and get the part. I take him to lunch. We put the part in. He gets all done. I try to give him some money, and he's arguing with me about it. I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "No, I don't want your money. I don't." I go, "Man, come on." He ended up taking the money because I was going to let him not. I mean, he's just that type of guy, and my brother called him and said, "Stupid ABS light," and then he'll come over there and scan it out, tell him what's wrong. Just a really good kid.
Really good kid.
And
and his mom's
I hope this video goes viral because
his mom was a postmaster here in our town.
Yeah. Right down the street, the post office. You can go down right there.
Elton says DigiKey is begging Latanya to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear that's a pretty good gig. So if she enjoyed it, that's good. Patty, it's okay. What did you miss? Just everything. I should just call you on the phone anyway.
When we get done here, we're gonna hit a button, and it's gonna be here, and you come back and watch it. So that's what's good about YouTube. So, yep.
Right.
So a lot of things are still going, but
the building isn't one of them.
Yeah, right now
the building.
And I to tell you the truth, at this point, to put something like that up, I'd be a little bit nervous for us because something like that takes money to have. It's going to be more utilities and more this and more that, and wanting to make more improvements. And we would be able to do the house part right away, and so we'll just wait until the time is right, and then we'll do it. And if we don't do it, it's gonna be a pretty decent plan B. And worst case scenario, we'll sell all this and go to the old folks home. Huh?
There you go.
Or go live with Leah.
Factory.
We'll go live with Leah.
Go live with Leah. Leah wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Paul loves us. Our son-in-law loves us.
Yeah, I think all of them do finally.
Yeah, all our in-law kiddos.
Yeah.
Got a good batch.
So, yeah, for the moment, you never know. It seems like. Yo, there's Johnny.
Hey, Yanni. That's why I call you Yanni, because you always say yo.
You have stuff moving and shaking.
Right now?
What is there, an earthquake over there? I mean, they're 30 feet away. How come their stuff is shaking? So, yeah, well, it's going to be an interesting rest of the year. All right, you guys, I've just been notified by the keeper of all things time that time is up. So if you guys have no other questions for us,
Yeah, the fans are on.
yeah. So if you guys have no further questions from us,
or comments, or suggestions,
no, I don't want suggestions. But
what is the meaning of yen? I think it's a dollar figure in Chinese. Something. Yeah. Right?
No, that's the won.
No.
Chinese is won.
Okay, well then it's Japanese.
Yen.
You know what, John?
What is the meaning of John? Duh.
Oh, see the way you're talking though. That
yeah,
must
see
be,
YUAN.
That must be
Bye, Barry.
Bye, Barry.
We'll call you when we need a phone system installed in our cabin.
Yeah. That's what Barry did for us when we did our auditions. That's how long we've known Barry.
Yeah, a long time.
Forever.
It's funny because John, we've known
Japanese yen. Thank you, Pooh. See, I was right.
Yeah, it's Japanese. But you said Chinese.
Yeah.
It's John.
But I changed it when you said
See,
that.
we met John in 1982?
1982, yeah. 1982.
So this would be 40 years we've known John.
Almost as long as we've been married, John.
Yeah.
Partner.
Part of the time I thought we were married to John.
John is a pot stirrer. Patty wants to know what we missed. Yeah. Catch it on the replay, or I'll call you. And see you next Monday for the next episode of Economic Refugees. Yeah, but guys, we are economic refugees RV.
Yeah.
Because if you don't put RV, then you get third world country people asking where I get my RV tour America.
Yeah, but if you type in economic refugees, we come up.
Yeah.
So
we did have people when we first started this.
How I get RV and come live with you?
How I get RV and tour America? Yeah. That's what they'd email or ask us.
Yeah, I don't know. Go to Mexico, come across the border, and they'll give you one. I don't know.
Y'all are old. Yeah, well, you know what? You're not that far behind us, Miss Patty. Tell her.
She's a lot younger than us.
You know what? It doesn't really matter how old you are. It matters the miles.
Yeah, we're high milers.
That's because young people like Patty keep pushing us way behind.
Yeah.
40 years. We are old. Most people don't live that long.
Yeah. I was never expected to. But all right, guys. Well, hey, you guys all have a great week.
Thank you for spending your evening.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for the likes. We really appreciate that. If you are watching and you have not subscribed, we'd appreciate if you would do that. And thanks for watching us. Just really not say a whole lot other than what our life's about. That's basically all it is. And
well, you know what? We got about 20 people that think that we're worth tuning in for.
Actually, we have more than that.
Well, I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, but usually with the playback and everything, we get about 200 views of these lives.
Love you, Yanni. Love you, Patty. Bye, Mellow Cat. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you next week, Mellow Cat, and
hopefully
2 eggs in a basket.
In passing or
okay. They can hear me.
All right, guys. Thanks again. Good night.